Welcome to the Taiwan language episode, a podcast for learning and insight in Mandarin and Taiwanese. I am your host, Yasmin. Today, let's dive into how the rulers of the time dealt with the opium problem. In our last episode, we talked about the efforts of opium on Taiwan society at the time. Taiwanese people, without knowing its true impact, thought of opium as a medicine. They believed it could protect against disease in bad climate or even relieve physical pain. This historical context helped us understand how deeply opium became a part of everyday life. But the issue goes even deeper. Opium didn't just spread in Taiwan. It was popular across China for nearly 300 years. There's got to be more to the story, right? Today I want to dig into how the rulers at the time looked at this harmful habit. Did they actually support the people's use of opium? If they didn't, what did they do about it? As we mentioned in our last episode, opium got introduced after the Dutch took over Taiwan. When Taiwan later became part of China under the Qing dynasty, the Han Chinese immigrants brought their opium habits with them. Then because of economic concerns, the Qing dynasty itself began to grow poppies, spreading opium even more. Opium was extremely profitable at the time. It was expensive but easy to carry. Many travelers and merchants brought it along as a kind of travel currency. But after a few years, the authority began to see the downsides of opium. They realized it was corrupting morals, hurting society at a deep level, so they decided it was something that needed to be rooted out for moral reasons. The authority also realized that opium smoking cost a lot of money. This was becoming a financial burden for the country and the people. Yongzheng Huangdi, Emperor Yongzheng, issued a ban to control the buying and the selling of opium. Then the Jiaqing Huangdi, Emperor Jiaqing, took the throne. He declared imported opium a contraband. But with legal access cut off, people turned to smuggling. Fast forward to 1833. And we see Lin Zexu taking action to ban opium outright. The government officially stood against opium, setting the stage for Lin Zexu's famous clash with the British merchants. Lin Zexu even tried to enlist famous doctors to create effective remedies. He aimed to make these remedies available nationwide through herbal shops to help people quit opium. But these anti-opium measures didn't sit well with the British. At the time, Britain was making huge profits importing opium to China, and the court's crackdown threatened that income. This dissatisfaction led to the Opium War from 1840 to 1842. After losing, China was forced to sign unequal treaties that, in effect, allowed Britain to sell opium to China and Taiwan. These treaties actually made it easier for opium to flow into both places, worsening the addiction crisis. Since opium was so expensive, a faction with the Qing dynasty suggested encouraging domestic production to lessen dependence on foreign opium. By doing so, the court could also tax both the domestic and foreign opium, boosting revenue. So opium smoking was not strictly prohibited. In 1881, the court sent Liu Mingchuan to Taiwan to collect opium taxes. Opium had become so common in Taiwan that people used it almost like currency. Reports say that around 70% of the population, or 7 out of every 10 people, were using opium. Oh my god. After the Opium War, the Qing dynasty signed a treaty that forced Taiwan to open trade ports in places like Dagou, which is present-day Kaohsiung, and Keelung, Anping, which is now Tainan, and Tanshui, which is now Port of Taipei. These ports became hubs for exporting tea, camphor, and sugar worldwide. Between 1868 and 1875, Taiwan's exports made up 94% of its total economy, creating massive income and making many Taiwanese people wealthy. With this new wealth and now with the legal access to opium imports into Taiwan rose dramatically, 5 times higher in 14 years after the treaties were signed. It's simple. As Taiwanese people earned more through exports, they could now afford the expensive opium, and this only increased the number of opium users. What are your thoughts so far? Personally, I can't help but feel that's such a pity for the people of Taiwan back then. At that time, many lived in poverty, and the infrastructure was underdeveloped. But thanks to the booming export trade, a lot of foreign currency flowed into the country. Logically, this should have been a golden opportunity to improve living standards and ensure everyone had enough to eat and wear, maybe even enjoy a better life. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't use the money they earned to improve their quality of life. Instead, they spent it on buying more and higher quality opium. The more they earned, the more opium they smoked. Individual consumption went up and the addiction problem worsened across the board. It makes me wonder, why do we earn money? Isn't it to improve our lives and make things better for ourselves and our families? If we have the ability to earn more, shouldn't that money go towards overcoming poverty and raising our standard of living instead of dragging us down further? Have you ever experienced poverty? If you have, did you ever think about how you would spend your money if one day you became rich? Would you spend it on a luxury bag or a convertible? Or would you invest in better education, develop your skills, and aim for a bigger dream? Do not let poverty limit your imagination. Do not let it teach you the wrong lessons either. I think the situation of poverty isn't made to make us envy those who are rich, but to make us reflect. Apart from money, what else are we lacking? Looking back at Taiwan's history, if the people who earned large amounts of foreign currency back then had a clear understanding of what they truly needed and knew how to enhance their quality of life, things might have turned out differently. They might have invested their money in starting businesses or increasing trade. Through those connections, they could have made talented individuals, learned about other cultures, and discovered different ways of living. More importantly, these experiences and insights could have broadened their horizons, helping them see a bigger, richer world behind luxury bags, convertibles, or mansions. Chasing after superficial things will never compare to true growth and self-improvement. At the end of the day, money is just a tool that can shape your future. But how you use it, it is completely up to you. Whether you plan wisely or spend recklessly, that's a choice only you can make. Of course, everyone's experiences and perspectives are different, which can lead to varied opinions on this topic. So what about you? Do you think spending more can truly bring happiness? I would love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to write or leave a comment and share. So far, we talked about the Qing dynasty's attitude toward opium, and it is disappointing. Initially, the Qing government allowed opium imports and even encouraged domestic production to collect more taxes. Only when they noticed the severity of the problem did they try to prohibit it. But foreign pressures and internal financial struggles weakened their efforts, ultimately making opium use even more widespread. This deeply affected people's lives and deaths. But wait, the story is not over yet. In the next episode, we will explore how things changed during the Japanese colonial period. When Japan took control, will they finally put an end to Taiwan's opium habit? What measures will the Japanese government take to deal with this headache? Will they impose a complete ban on opium, or will they find other ways to control it? We will reveal all of that in the next episode, so stay tuned. Now it comes to our Taiwanese time. We talked about profit in today's episode. Profit here in Taiwanese, that's 利损. 利损. The court's crackdown threatened the income. Threat in Taiwanese, that is 威胁. 威胁. And we also talked about United Kingdom, that is 英国. 英国. And opium is very expensive. Expensive here. 貴參參. 貴參參. From my accent in my voice, it sounds like I am from Tainan. So you would like to say, from the accent in your voice, it sounds like you are from Tainan. 聽你的腔口，敢若是台南人. From the accent in your voice, it sounds like you are from Tainan. 聽你的腔口，敢若是台南人. Now let's review today's Taiwanese vocabulary. 利損, 威脅, 英國, 貴參參. 聽你的腔口，敢若是台南人. So that wraps up what I wanted to share today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like this podcast, I would be so grateful if you could leave a 5-star review on your favorite listening platform. And feel free to share this podcast with your friends. It really helps more people discover this podcast. If you would love to support my work, you can buy me a cup of coffee. Every bit helps keep this podcast going and allows me to keep creating helpful language learning resources. To enrich your learning experience, I also create a study guide in both Chinese and Taiwanese. You will get a full transcript in Chinese with pinyin and Taiwanese with both romanization and local phonetic symbols. The study guide also includes a key vocabulary, reading comprehension questions with answer keys, and a few bonus questions to help you think deeper about the topic. You can become a member to access these study guides. They are a great way to preview before a new episode drops or review after listening. And don't miss the vocabulary-rich episode, a new series released every 2 weeks on the SoundOn, Spotify, and Ko-fi platforms. Each episode highlights 10 essential vocabulary words based on that week's topic, plus 5 practical everyday sentences to help you use what you've learned with confidence. All the links and details are in the show notes below. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you will join me again next time on Taiwan Language Episode. Until next time, bye-bye!